Hi there, and welcome to my site. I hope things are going well for you. Today's lesson, Last Spike, and my name is Tim Cornish. I'm going to be reading it to you. On July 1st, 1867, the British North America Act brought Canada together as a dominion. But it was not until November 7th, 1885, that the Canadian Pacific Railway brought Canada together as a country. It was on that morning at precisely 9:22 Pacific Standard Time that the last spike was driven into the Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, line. For the first time in its young history, Canada had a transportation route that linked the country together from east to west. The story of the CPR is really the story of the Canadian West, for the construction of the railway forever changed the face of the vast plains and mountains lying west of Ontario. Plans for the railway had been considered as early as 1864, when Sandford Fleming delivered a detailed plan for a railway from Canada to the Pacific Ocean on British territory. It was not until British Columbia joined Confederation in 1871 that the government seriously proposed building a transcontinental railway. Part of the condition for British Columbia joining was that a railway be built linking Canada's eastern rail network with the Pacific coast. Original plans called for work to begin within 2 years and the railway to be finished in 10 years. However, problems arose when it was discovered that the company asked to build the railway had contributed election money to the government. The Pacific Scandal of 1873 helped bring down Canada's first government and delayed the start of railway construction at Fort William, now Thunder Bay, until June 1875. After British Columbia threatened to withdraw from Confederation unless construction started in that province, work slowly got underway on the west coast. By 1881, however, less than 300 miles of track had been completed in 10 years. Anxious to finish the railway, Canada struck a deal with the newly formed Canadian Pacific Railway Company. The government agreed to pay the company $25 million and give it 25 million acres of prairie land to finish the job. Led by William Cornelius Van Horn, the CPR quickly went to work, laying track west from Winnipeg and east from the Pacific coast. As the rails cut across the prairies, settlers followed. Towns such as Brandon, Selkirk, Medicine Hat, and Calgary began to grow alongside the railway line. Although they progressed at a steady pace, work was not easy for the CPR construction crews. Laying a railway across Canada meant building bridges and tunnels over huge valleys, around swampy muskegs, and through rocky mountains. Workers often spent 14 hours a day toiling on the railway lines. Despite the obstacles, the CPR took just 4 years to complete the project. On November 7th, 1885, on November 7th, 1885, Eastern and Western construction crews met at Craigellachie in British Columbia. Donald Smith, a CPR representative, was given the honor of driving the last spike. CPR company officials then climbed aboard Locomotive 148 and became the first men to travel by rail across Canada to the Pacific coast. That's the story of Canada's railway. So I hope you are having a really good day. Take care, and thanks for listening.